Okay, so welcome everyone to another episode of the Creativity channel. My name's Matty, and today my guest is Chloe Maybury, who is a fine artist, and she is also a dancer. You also make your own music, which is interesting.
Mhm.
And I've been following you for around a year or two on Instagram. So when I stumbled upon your work, I really, really loved your sort of style and approach and the way that you work in black and white and also blue. I see that you've got like three themes going on. So we'll talk about that a bit later.
Yeah.
So hello, Chloe. Welcome to the
Hello.
channel. Welcome to the interview.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Super cool.
No
Yeah.
problem. So, we'll start off with like a quick introduction. So, could you introduce yourself in like a few sentences or sum up what do you do?
So I kind of don't like to label myself in or like box myself in to anything because
Hmm.
well, a while ago I wanted to be a dancer. That was like my thing. I was like, I'm gonna be professional dancer and work with companies and perform and choreograph my own works and all of this. And then I just realized like actually there's so many things I want to do. And like especially with art through school, I would basically hide in the art rooms, like making drawings and things like that. And I was just kind of obsessed with anything creative. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I know that I wanted to do something creative. So I was like,
Mm.
do I have to box myself in? Do I have to pick something? And then I was like, actually, no, why don't I just do everything? And it's quite, can feel over ambitious, but like I love everything. I think that when you merge everything together, like if you've got music, drawing, or
Hmm.
like other physical art, like I'm trying to dip my toes into sculpture, but I'm not the best yet, but I'm going to grow and I'm going to learn. And I think that's what art's about, just being brave and learning things. And then, yeah, music, I suppose.
Hmm.
And writing, because writing makes the music, because I
Yeah.
love writing poetry and songs and using words. And then also I play some instruments and sing and things like that. And then
Wow.
what was I supposed to say? Yeah, like dance as well and movement. Basically, movement is the core of everything I do, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
Like I want my drawings to move. Like
Hmm.
I never draw, like if anything looks still, then I'll like try and destroy it or change it or move it or
Hmm.
put it in the bin. Like
Okay.
I need art to be alive. Like it needs to feel like it's moving somewhere, it's growing, or it's a bit like nature, like it just
Hmm.
kind of has a mind of its own or an energy of its own. Um, so yeah, I think my thing is like trying to put everything together. Like I'm really interested in installations at the moment, like trying to build these kind of places that you can step in that like manipulate or turn on like all of your senses.
Hmm.
Like obviously sound and music is like your ears, and then sight and like light and things and shadows is your eyes. And then even like smell and taste, because you can, especially in physical space, maybe not online, because I know that everything's been a bit online with COVID and stuff. So it's been like filmmaking and like alternative methods, which I'm actually quite enjoying too. I think
Mm.
really beautiful to play with um, how much you show and how much you don't show, and like
Yeah.
with
Mm.
screens, like is it small or is it big, or I think it plays with perception a lot, and you can manipulate people's minds with that, which is quite fun. Um, but yeah, I'm interested in all the senses and like trying to hit all of them, and that's like what I always ask myself when I'm starting something or a project or like a piece of work or a body of work. I'm like, right, the first thing I do is make like a massive mind map of like it's like sound, sight, smell, taste, touch, everything. And I'll like
Mm.
make as many links to everything as possible. Because I want art to feel like an experience rather than something you just walk past on a wall. Like
Hmm.
I think, not to disrespect anyone, because I think that all painting and everything is beautiful, but when I walk in galleries, sometimes I get a little bit bored because I'm
Mm.
walking past and it's very predictable. And I
Hmm.
think that I also get really sad because there's so much empty space in galleries. There's like all the floor, and like sometimes there'll
Yeah.
just be rooms they're just empty, and there's just
Mhm,
things on the wall, and it's like,
mhm.
we could be doing something here. Like,
Yeah, it's got like a specific layout and
yeah, I'm not
sort
against
of
minimalism, but
mm,
the there's so much more potential, I think, for spaces, and I think we can push it a bit further and make like worlds within worlds, maybe.
wow.
I
That
suppose that's
sounds amazing.
quite long, but
No, it's fine. No, it sounds amazing. And, I really feel inspired already by what you've said. So, through your work that I've seen on Instagram, I can tell that your theme sort of revolves around growth and how you said feeling alive and that you want your work to feel alive. And some of it, sort of reminds me of sort of like weird plants like growing in different directions or the you mentioned installations as well. I saw that you made some like paper sculptures which seemed like growing cocoons or
hanging from my ceiling right now.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So I can really see that aliveness and that link to nature going through like a running theme throughout what you do, so it's really interesting.
It's
And
so nice to know that it's like kind of successful, because I really want to create that feeling, and I'm so
yeah.
happy that you did it.
Yeah. Well, for me, it definitely does convey that. Definitely. So you mentioned a bit about museums and about you sort of not agreeing really with the layout and how it could be changed so it could be a bit better. So what is your definition of art or your definition of creativity? What does being creative mean to you?
What a wonderful question. Oh my. Um, yeah, I think art is not, it's basically not like one thing, it's not still. It's I think art is more of a creature, or like a living thing. Like I've
Mm,
always said art is a living thing. And that's just my kind of, I guess, manifesto, or what I believe in. Um, so I think art is also more of a feeling. Like
mhm,
when um, everyone talks about it, like there's things that people like and they get really excited about, and there's things that people don't want to look at or they don't want to experience. And it's like everyone has their own feeling of what art is, even if they don't quite know that they're feeling it. Like you'll know, especially with being interested in creative things and
mhm.
things, that you when you like, especially I guess with me, because you've looked at my work and something in you was like, yes, this is something I want to follow and be involved in, which
Mhm,
is really
mhm.
kind of you. And it's like I must have sparked something in you that made you feel like, oh, this is art, like this is making me feel touched, or like making me feel something, or making my imagination
Yeah,
go. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
art is like a more of a way of thinking as well. It's like
Mm.
feeling, thinking, living. It's like an experience. It's just an experience, I think,
Yeah, yeah.
rather than, because a lot of people are like, oh, this is art, and it's like actually it's what's coming off of it, and it's like your reaction to it makes it
Mm,
art. Like you'll hear it a lot, especially with going to extended diploma and cool
mhm.
courses like that. That a lot of people very conceptual, to the point where it's like they'll pick up like any object and it's like, what does this mean? Like this could be art. So anything can
Mhm.
be art, really.
Yeah,
um
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who said it, but uh I don't know if someone said it, but life is art. Well, I don't know if that's a
Yeah,
thing,
the whole
but
thing is like life imitates art, art imitates life. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's got that
It's
link to life, isn't it?
true.
Because, well, I don't know. Sort of an interesting question because to me, art is about experience as well. It's about the person seeing or experiencing the art, and it's also about the person making the art. So, yeah.
Yeah, I also think that the like, for me, I didn't actually notice for a while, but I think someone told me, they were like, we're in like a critique about art, because you have them a lot in art college, so like you'll know that, um, and I don't know, it was like, I always kind of felt like my art, basically I'll talk about it maybe a bit later if you give me questions about like context in my work or the concepts, but like it's from like a different world, essentially, like an alternate universe. So I felt like, oh, maybe it's kind of separate from me, even if I sometimes use my body to express like the movement of creatures or like whatever's in the world. I'm still sort of disconnected. Like, it's not about my personal life or my life as human. It's more of like my pulling something out of my brain, and this growing world that keeps growing and like evolving. So I was like, oh, it's not personal, and then someone asked me like, you look like your art, and I was like, that's interesting. Like, they're like, you kind of dress like your art, and you dress like flowy, and like you move your hands like the actual drawing. And I was like, I didn't even notice I move my hands, but I can't sit still. I think it's kind of impossible. But yeah, it just kind of, I was like, wait, yeah, maybe you can't really separate the artist from the art. I mean, maybe you can sometimes, but guess not with me, maybe not. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought. Okay. Well, I'm wanting to go a bit back into the past and maybe ask you when or how did you know that you wanted to head in this direction of being an artist and a creative person?
That's interesting. I think I kind of always knew deep down that I wouldn't be able to do like a normal job or like a normal thing. I mean, it's hard. Like, it's not like the easiest thing to like throw yourself into. I think you have to be incredibly fearless, so like have the fear but not let it stop you. Like, I'm also a very anxious person, actually, like underneath, but like I don't let it stop me. I try to like feel all the emotions and like let them be soothed by the art, and like let it be something that I can, kind of overcome and like conquer and like grow with. Because I don't think we should push away any emotions. I think that they're all valid and like necessary. Where was I? But, yeah.
How did you know that you wanted to head in that direction of being an artist and a creative person?
Yeah, so I just I think I always deep down knew that I was going to do something different, or like from when I was very tiny, I was always drawing, and like people would come to my like house and knock on my door, like people on my street, and they'd be like, Chloe, come play out, let's go play, let's go do something. And I'd be like, I don't want to go, because I just wanted to sit and like butterflies was my obsession when I was young. I still love insects for many reasons, but butterflies, when I was young, I was always drawing butterflies. They weren't good, but it's okay. They were good for in my mind, they were good. They were kind of abstract butterflies, like circles. But it's just kind of funny now because I'm very much an abstract artist. I can't really, I mean, I could try and do realism, but it doesn't make sense to me. Basically, my theory is that like I respect all of it, but like personally, the realism stuff, like, it's real for a reason. Like, it's here. Like, why would I draw that plant? Because I can feel it, I can touch it, I can see it. So I'd rather draw a plant that exists only in my mind, or exists in another universe, or change the plant so it looks like it's from a different place. You've never seen it before. Like, I want to make things that people haven't seen before, basically.
Yeah.
I think abstract art does that because everyone will see something different in it, and people won't be able to initially be like, that is something. Like, it takes them a while, or they might see things within it, but they can't really place it in reality in the way they can with a lot of other paintings. Anyway, back to the question. I guess I just kind of I've always followed like my instincts and what I wanted to do, and kind of sometimes to a bad point where like I don't want to do anything else, and like I'd be quite frustrated about doing other subjects in school and other things, and I would get really upset and like sad because I wasn't doing what made me like, feel sparkly. And I think it's quite sad because a lot of people just think that they can't follow that, or they think it's, what makes them happy is not something they can actually hold on to, or it's something they have to like leave behind, or like save special moments. It's like, actually you can like build something for you. Like you can build something on what you're happy about. And I think if you do, then, you know, like that's priceless. It doesn't really matter if you don't earn a lot of money. Like I'll probably end up with lots of different jobs and random things just trying to get money, but like, and money isn't what I live for. Like, I don't care if I live in a cardboard box as long as I can do what I want to do. So I've always just been like that. So that's why I've headed into this. And I was actually really lucky because someone I knew from school showed me like, oh, there's this art college, do you want to go to this open day? And then I did. And then from then it just kept going, and I just kept finding opportunities and stuff, which is really wonderful. So yeah, I'm just trying to be an artist, just going to keep going, see where it takes me, really.
That's an amazing outlook you have, that your passion for art is just so strong that, you know, it's just what you want to keep doing despite any difficulties or challenges that you may face. It's just the thing that you feel that you were meant to do, and you just going in that direction. And
nothing worthwhile is easy, really, is it? So worth trying, because if you don't try, then you'll have no chance. But if you do try, then at least you got something. And the more energy you put into something, the more it's going to grow, and
grow and develop, and it'll turn into something beautiful. Hopefully. So we'll come back to this idea of your work and what it means, really, because I noticed that you don't really stray far away from black, white, or blue. So I was wondering, why is that? Why do you focus on those colors?
I get a lot of comments like, why don't you do colors? Why do you do this bright stuff? I'm like, don't know why. It's just something in me. It's like, well, there is color here. Like in real life, we experience color all the time. And then when you when you strip it back from colors, then it becomes abstracted from reality, and it becomes a different world and different place. And I'm so obsessed with like alternate universes and making like these wonderlands that don't already exist here in life. And basically I have this universe in my mind, and whether it's real or whether I completely made it up, I will never know. But it feels like I get like visions of this world, and basically those become my drawings or my pieces or whatever it is. And so they kind of come to me like messages and like images and things, especially in dreams. That's really important to me, like listening and recording my dreams all the time. And the images I have just don't have color, or if they do, it's very pale, like cool tones, which is why I like blue a lot. And then I'm trying to incorporate blue into my art now a little bit more, which I didn't. I was very much like, it's just black and white, but now I think I might try and maybe see if it works, or like see if it feels right. I'm experimenting, because I don't want to put myself in a box with that either, because I think that the whole kind of premise of my art, or like the thing that I want it to scream, is like freedom. Like I want it to feel really free, and like it's just completely unrestrained, like paths in a forest, rather than like a city where it's like this road goes in a straight line, there's this con. Like I want it to be like all organic, basically. So I think trying to make it free would include maybe adding a little bits of color, just to be like, I'm not stuck in this black and white box, I am going to try things. But it just basically, I just don't see this world with much color at all. Like it's very all based on lines and movement and kind of outlines of things, and it just hasn't ever really felt natural to include lots of color in my work, so I haven't. Especially when you said films of like, because I do a lot of performance work as well, because I like to include movement and dance within my things, and maybe like project things on to myself, or like figure out how to merge movement of the body with movement of lines.
Mm-hmm.
So especially when you take videos of yourself, I find when they're in color of myself, it just looks like a human moving, and it's just like, it's just too human. It just looks like it's from.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I put myself in black and white, sometimes moments where it's like, I'll get lost in like my clothes or like something I'm working with or like the light, and then it just shifts. And like if you pause the video, it's like, that's a shape, that's a creature, that's not a human anymore. And I think with color, you can very clearly tell what's skin and what's hair and what's all of this. So it's kind of taking it out of reality again.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically I have this universe in my head that I'm trying to bring to life. And that's why all of my art comes from this other place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was being here all the time, like through my childhood and like through dreams and like in little things, but only over the past few years have I actually like listened, or like really kind of fallen into the world and been like, actually I can, like, this can be my art and I can use this, and I can also use it to inspire other people to like create their own worlds, or like not feel like this reality is the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want people to be limited by anything. And we have these massive imaginations, like, but a lot of people don't use them, which is a bit sad to me. I think we should all dream and like imagine things, and yeah, they can't just be Earth, you know?
Yeah.
There's obviously all those other planets, and then I just think there's
Exactly.
potential for other universes and like
Mm-hmm.
other things that we don't know
Yeah.
about.
So the feeling that I'm getting is that you don't want to be restricted at all. You don't want to be restricted to, just the earth and this reality and this world. You want to explore different realities, different possibilities, and just find the miraculous and make
Oh, wonderful. That's such a wonderful idea.
and
Yeah.
make basically our, ordinary life just extraordinary by bringing your world into it, something like that.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. I want
Mm.
to make people feel magical, basically.
Yeah,
Like when
that's exactly the feeling that I get when I see your work. It is magical, basically. Yeah, that's the feeling that I get. And yeah, it's just amazing to see, because like you said, in our everyday, if you live in a city or if you live in the countryside, in cities you see that everything is a certain way. There's rules, there's roads, there's paths. You're meant to walk on this path and not this one. And there's set ways of doing things, but your art helps sort of like break the boundaries. And
yes, I want to like
yeah.
alleviate that, because I think I personally don't really feel like I belong a lot of the time. Like I walk through streets and I'm like, I feel itchy and strange, and I want to, like, a lot of the time when I'm walking around, I listen to music and I'll like move my arms or they move themselves, and like I dance a bit. I dance a bit when I walk, and people stare at me, and it's like, is this not allowed? Like, am I not allowed to move my own body? Like, it's very odd, like, to be a human. And I think everyone reaches for some kind of escape, especially through lockdown. It's been like, everyone's like, I want to watch this movie, I want to watch this show, I'm going to listen to this music, I'm going to read a book, I'm going to, like, all of this is so important. And it's what gives us escape from this world, because this world is actually quite oppressive and pressurizing. Like, a lot of people go through struggle with a lot of things, and I think my art is not only for me to escape, but also for other people, hopefully. And like this kind of utopian place where everyone is free. And it's strange, a lot of people think my work is very calming. A lot of people think my work is really eerie or like disturbing, like strange. But I kind of like that. I want it to be strange, because I think that we're actually quite judgmental as humans sometimes. We can be very, like, oh no, this is strange, this is weird, this is normal, this is ordinary. It's like, actually, this is all just opinion. Like, I find what's ordinary, like pavements and roads and buildings, I'm like, this feels so weird. But then I'll go and like, I don't know, walk through like woods at night, or like with a torch, and it's like everything's scary, but it feels peaceful to me. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I think art will always comfort the disturbed and like disturb the comfortable. So that's why you've got to,
Yeah.
I think it's okay to be strange or to be perceived as strange or weird. I think that's actually quite a beautiful thing, because that
Yeah.
means you're not boring. Like my worst fear is being boring.
Mm.
So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, you're living life in your own way, basically, and you're allowed to do that, you know. You know, people can have opinions, but in the end, you have to live the life that you want to live. And yeah,
I suppose that's what I want to say
yeah,
through as well.
exactly.
Like it's not just like this is this fantasy place that you can step into for a second, and then once you're done at the exhibition or whatever, you can go home. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't want it to be just a memory. I would like it to
Mm.
be something that like stays with people, and like it's kind of wears in their brain like a little machine. Like, what if I saw this a different way? Or what if I, like, why do I feel, I don't know, I want people to think like, so am I free? Like, am I doing what makes me happy? And like, do I feel like I'm utilizing my energy in the best way? Like, do I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's just about making people listen a bit. Like I
Yeah.
also sometimes I try to make, especially installations and things like that I've been working on trying to start, like if you lie in them or you sit there for a while, I want it to feel a bit meditative as well. Like you kind of sink into yourself or a different space, and like your imagination is like unlocked, and then for the rest of your life maybe you can go and like create your own world or feel
Mm-hmm.
inspired to create your own, use your own imagination.
Yeah.
Also,
Right.
I forgot to say, there's loads of negative space in my drawings a lot of the time. Like
Yeah.
there's lots of openness. Like
Mm.
I'll leave quite a lot of space, or I make it kind of minimalistic sometimes, because I want there to be space basically to imagine. Like if the line trails off the page,
Mm-hmm.
I want people to be like, where does it go then? Like something
Ah.
else happens. And I think they're all, like you say, sometimes they look like things in nature, because I want it to feel organic and fluid. And then
Mm-hmm.
in my world, there are these different plants and creatures and things growing and moving and dancing. So I try to like listen to them and think about them, and then draw them the way that they move. So.
Mm. Wow, we could talk for hours about,
It's
the
so
world and reality and all these things. And it's just really nice to speak to you about it, and inspiring as well to learn about, your process and where you get your ideas from this other world, from your dreams, and that you want people to use their imagination, to be inspired, to live life in their own way, which I think is really inspiring. So I was wondering, because you write and sing and you dance and you do art, so do you think that artists should stick to one medium, or do you think that, it's okay to explore and it's okay to express yourself in whatever way feels most natural to you?
I think you can
Because,
tell which one I would be siding with. Yeah, I think it would definitely be the exploration, like do
mm,
anything you want. I think because we are multifaceted creatures. Like
mm,
we might wake up one day, feel utterly sad. We might wake up one day and feel angry. One day we feel happy. Like and it's the same with what we want to do. Like one day we're like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to do this. But we should feel like able to be ever changing, and
mm,
like do whatever we want that day or that
mhm,
week, month, whatever. And I think a lot of artists struggle because people get used to their style or their work, and they think, oh,
mm,
I'm stuck, I can't do anything else because it won't please people. And then you kind of
ah,
have to get off that, like, because it might not always please people, but you have to still follow you might be missing something, like you might keep repeating something and then you're
Mm-hmm.
missing something that could have flourished and also grown as well. Like, if people forget that in a garden you can have many different types of flowers and they can all grow at the same time or at different rates, but you can still plant them all and you don't have to feel like one plant is more important than the other. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I also think a lot of people love like they love having one thing and they want to do that, and they will explore it really deeply, and that's beautiful too, because they can go so much deeper than maybe I can, because I'm also like, I could be spreading myself too thin sometimes, because I'm like, I've got all of these things. But I am more of a like, actually, one of my tutors from extended diploma, who, shout out to Andy, he's very, very nice. If anyone wants to check out his work, you should. He's called Andy Black. But yeah, you might know him. He told me this thing about a fox and a hedgehog. So basically, hedgehogs, when they hunt for food or they go about their life doing what hedgehogs do, they have one route of doing it, they have one way of doing it, and they will do that really well, and they'll find those different, things just doing that one thing, and like they'll do really deep and they're really successful at it. And then other people are foxes, and foxes have loads of different ways of doing it, but they might not do every single one best, but they just go for like they go for width rather than depth. So like creators are usually in one or the other. So I'm definitely a fox.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah. Well, I think, I don't know, I'd need to think about who I am and in the ways that I want to create. But sometimes I'm in a mood where, I don't want to have anything to do with paper or drawing, and sometimes I just want to go outside and, I don't know, take a picture of a tree, instead of, sitting at my desk at home with a pencil.
It's
So
important to move and go out and
yeah.
A lot of people think you have to be creating all the time to be an artist. Actually, no, you need like a lot of people burn out that way. Like, you need time to like collect your seeds before you plant them as well. Like, you need like space to relax and dream, and like, I don't get all of my stuff in one go. Like, I can't actually keep going every single day, but I try to do like little things, or like one thing a day, maybe like one small thing. It might not be from my universe at all, because some of my music stuff is like personal experiences, or like because I want to create a sound that sounds like something. I want to write a poem for someone that isn't even anything to do with that. Like, my universe. There's just so much. Like, we shouldn't feel limited, really.
Yeah, it's important to take a break. Yeah, like you said, because it's just hard expecting yourself to create all the time when you need that time to rest and to go out and just gain new inspiration and go look at other things and give yourself that time to form new ideas. Because
if you be like a little magpie and like find shiny things as well. You're not flying all the time. They also come down and they look at things, and they're running through people's gardens, not that you should run through people's gardens. I was gonna say something. It's gone.
Maybe it'll come back.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we'll move on to another question, and that is to ask you, what sort of projects or things are you working on at the moment? Are you working on anything exciting, or will be, or want to?
Maybe. There are some things I probably won't talk about, because they're between me and the artist making them, and I'm not sure when. There's a few things I'm working with collaboratively, then which is really interesting, but I'll wait because I don't want to spoil anything.
And
then, but they're like based on like film performance work. And then I guess personally, I'm just getting back into the flow of things after summer. And I've
Yeah.
been doing things, but I've actually been working a lot of music and like just personal stuff and resting kind of.
Yeah, that's good.
I
Yeah.
just don't think I should. I mean, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I think a lot of artists do, to like be on all the time and to be doing things. That's why I say things like that, like you need a break, because I'm also telling myself to.
Yeah, I'm telling myself too as well. Yeah.
You have to talk to yourself, like to not be so harsh on yourself, because you want to be, I think artists are very sensitive people. You need to be very gentle with yourself so that you can let things happen. Yeah, I'll be starting uni, so I'll be doing my fine art degree and seeing what happens there. I'll be hopefully like I'm gonna get really into the workshops and like use everything I can and try and create things that I haven't done before, like try new things and yeah, not be scared to try something new or to be bad at it. Yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do little things all the time. I'm always doodling as well. I'm always drawing things. And then there's a project I'm working with. So I'm working with someone, and it's like a dance thing based on improvisation and like how your body naturally moves. And then like we've been lots of films in the Tetley Gallery, which is really cool. So that might be a project that will blossom over this year, and then there might be live performances or films or something. We'll see.
Oh wow! Oh, that's really exciting.
Cool.
Yeah.
I won't say a lot about that either.
Okay, but, right.
Yeah, I've been working on that a bit in summer and experimenting and seeing how it goes.
That's interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you've got planned, and I can't wait to see those ideas come to reality. And
hopefully.
And see more of your work on Instagram and wherever else. Yeah. So
just gonna keep saying yes to things and
good. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, because you said that you get your sort of inspiration and ideas through these visions and through your dreams and through this world that you see. I was wondering if there's a specific person that inspires you.
Oh, like other artists or things like that?
Yeah, for example, other artists, or is there someone who had a specific influence on you that sort of led you down a certain path? Like, is there someone who influenced you particularly?
I would probably say, I mean, I've known her for a very long time. Not in real life. I wish I did. A musician called Aurora. You probably know her.
Oh, right.
She's Norwegian,
Yeah.
and I just think she's a beautiful soul, and she makes gorgeous music, obviously. And I'd say she's my favorite musician, but like, there's something about her, as in when you watch her interviews, or like, I actually kind of cut my hair similar to her because I'm inspired by her. The way she isn't afraid to like why should your hair be long or short? It can be both. But also jellyfish as well. I love those creatures, so I like to feel like a jellyfish and like the way they move and they flow with everything. And yes, very inspiring spiritually, like the idea of the way a jellyfish move. But anyway, Aurora, because she's like, when you watch interviews, she's just such a free person, and she thinks very freely, and she's not held back by like things in society. And I don't know, it's very strange. She's just so pure. In my definition of pure, I would say. And I think she inspires me to like stay true and to like my instincts and like impulses and just do what feels right. And then maybe for artists, there's I don't know, there's a few. There's a choreographer called Damien Jarlet, I think that's how you say his name. And he does dance work and performance work in films and things. And he like creates the way he uses movement and costumes as well, which is really important, which I'd love to get into. Like, the what you wear can actually change the way you move.
Oh.
But like it creates kind of creature-like movement, and it's all very like a little bit ritualistic, and like kind of like they're using the energy to like push something out or to like grow something, and it's like
Oh.
very beautiful. So I love watching his
Wow.
work. So I'd recommend checking him out.
Okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely will. Yeah, I'll check all of those people out, and I'm sure
Other than that, there's
people
like,
watching will have a look as well.
yeah, maybe I'll send you some links and you could put them in the description.
Oh
But
yeah,
just
okay, good idea. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
cool. Other than that, it's like more thematic stuff, like
Mm.
more just like a thing like in psychology or something that I found online and been like, that's really interesting. Um, like paracosms is a thing. I'll explain what they are.
Oh,
So they
okay.
are like these worlds, like imaginary worlds or places that children kind of imagine or create or like see when they're little, and they might create games on them, or like they might draw things or say things or like talk to an imaginary friend that lives in that world, you know, like they're very free to imagine and they playful with that. And then it's really sad because when they grow up they usually lose it and they don't
Mm.
remember it anymore. And then so a paracosmist is someone who keeps that world, like when they grow up they still can get in touch with that imaginary place and they remember it, and they remember like maybe the characters they created or something like that. And I think that's why we have a lot of like fantasy books and like
Mm.
fiction things, because
Oh yeah.
they keep those worlds, like I suppose like the Harry Potter world or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
like they you know, they write it and then it becomes a thing, and then eventually other people pick up on that world and they're like, oh yeah, I know about this place, and like they'll say all these like made up words, and it's like accepted because everyone knows about this world. You know, it's so
Mm-hmm.
strange. So I guess that's inspiring because I think that maybe I was a bit like that, like I had
All
that
right.
imaginary world and I've kept it, and
Yeah.
now I'm just using it and not letting it die.
Mm.
Also, what's the word? Paradalia? No, Pareidolia. I don't know. I will
Paradolia?
yeah, I'll get
Paradolia, I
back to
think.
you on that.
Yeah. No, is it like when
Yeah,
objects look like things? Yeah.
yeah. When you see like either faces or like things
Yeah.
from life in like random stuff, like a tree or
Yeah, like see faces in a tree or
yeah,
in a rock or something like
yeah.
that.
It comes from like when we were like our ancestors, when we would have to know where like wild animals were so that we could run or
Mhm.
like so we could hunt them or whatever, when it was, you know, when we had to.
Yeah.
um and so like they would have to be trained to like that, I would have to be trained to see if it was a tiger or if it was this, or in the like
Mm.
depth of the landscape.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, Whereas now we don't really need it, but we still
No.
have it because we still see things. And you know, you'll know if you go on like a walk in the night, you'll see things and you're like, that's something, there's someone coming after me. Like
Yeah.
it's intrinsically in us. And I think that comes into abstract art because I get comments all the time and people looking at it, they're like, oh, I see a dragon in this one, I see a bird in this one, I see
Oh
this.
wow.
Like, oh wow, I didn't know, I can't see it.
Yeah.
I'll even show my parents and they will be like, oh, this is a woman, there's a face there. And I'm like, I look at it, I can't see it, and everyone else can. And so I think that's really cool about
Yeah.
abstract. Yeah. Like no matter how pulled away it is from reality, if other people can see it, then it becomes like connected. So it's like
Mm.
all these different worlds can be connected through things, like through the
Yeah.
way we see them. So it's really
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great summary of lots of things that interest you and how they inspire you. So they've inspired me, definitely. I
Oh,
feel like,
no.
I should go off and create my own world and, what I want in my own world. And yeah, no, it's interesting. Yeah. Do you think that everyone should have sort of their own world then inside of their imaginations?
I think they shouldn't feel forced to, like they don't have to just because I say it.
Okay.
But I think if they have it, or like because a lot of people like they'll believe in things and other people won't believe in them, and
Mm.
then they'll feel like, oh no, they don't believe in it, so I can't believe in it because it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
accepted by everyone. Or like people want to follow what other people are doing in society because they want to feel like they fit in. And
Mm.
it's like actually don't shouldn't fear not fitting in or not being the same as everyone else. Like if you're seeing a world, or if you believe in something, for example, I believe in fairies, for
Mhm.
example, and a lot of people don't, and a lot of people are very skeptical of it, and they will like
Mm.
judge you for it because it's like,
Oh,
oh, only children believe in that stuff. Actually, no, they're real to me. And if I was like easily led by that, I would be like, oh, I can't believe in them anymore. No,
oh,
I don't.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think whatever people personally believe in, they should be able to explore and just go with it. And like, if they want to, a lot of people write stories. I know I was like that. Like, I would write little stories when I was little or in school or whatever.
Mhm.
And then you just feel like you can't continue, or you feel like it's not for you. Like, oh no, there's lots of these authors out there that they can write beautiful books and I can't write the same. Like,
Mhm.
you can do anything you want. Like, it might not be the best-selling novel, but like the thing is, it's important to create, like to just let yourself do it. Like, it's a human thing to
Mhm.
express yourself, because we have lots of energy in us, and we have these tiny bodies. Really, they are quite small for our souls. I think our souls are huge, so like
Yeah.
we have to put
Yeah.
them somewhere. um yeah. So
No,
I think
that's
it's just about following, if they feel it and if they are imagining, to not stop themselves as well.
yeah. No, I think that's interesting. Yeah. Just it's linked to that whole follow your intuition, follow your heart, follow your desire thing that, if you feel that you should be doing it and that's what you feel that you're meant to do, it gives you happiness, it inspires you, then go for it. No one's going to stop you, so
And I
yeah.
think people might try and stop you, but you have the choice whether you listen to them or not, I
Mm,
think. And
yeah.
especially when you become an adult and you're not, like in school or in oppressive environments, you have the like choice to follow it or to ignore it.
Mm.
Like your true fate or your calling or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
has one. Like, it's not, it sounds cheesy, but it's actually true. Like, if the man next door really wants to be a baker, and his wife is like, no, you should not become a baker, that won't get you any money, you should go to this office and do this.
Hmm.
Then he might go to the office job and like spend his whole life being miserable when he could have been an
Yeah,
excellent baker. That's just
yeah.
my, yeah.
No, I completely agree. I think I've got quite similar views to yours. Yeah, I really agree with everything you said today, and about, following what you want to do, trying to not listen to the discouraging voices or the voices that go against what you believe in, because you have to have faith in yourself and have that belief that what you're doing is right for you. It doesn't have to be right for someone else, but if someone else likes it, then great.
Great. And yeah, it's also the voices in your head too. Like, you're not always gonna be kind to yourself because
Mm,
we aren't as humans, but we have to try and soften our minds and like think, no, actually, if we can't be the people holding ourselves back. Like,
yeah.
we have to, yeah, if other people try and stop us, then that's up to them. But if we try and stop us, then that's something we can actually change, and that's something we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
So it's also about reconditioning your mind to like get rid of those voices, because they usually are just from um, the world around us, and they're not actually what we truly believe. So
Mm,
to kind of dig deep and listen to what you actually want.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to embrace your true self, not what, you were taught to believe or what you were taught to think.
Uh-huh.
You have to dig into yourself into the core of who you are and just embrace that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. I've really loved having this conversation with you today, and getting to know your
Absolutely. I
process
really
and
enjoyed it.
your thoughts, and how you perceive and see the world. And it's been inspiring. And I was wondering if, to finish, we could sum up what we've been talking about today into like 3 little pieces of advice for people who, might be struggling to find their creative side, or people who, want to be more creative, but they don't really know how to go about it. What sort of 3 pieces of advice could you give to that person to sort of lead them sort of into the right direction?
I would say stay curious
Mm.
through everything, whatever makes you sparkle, run
Mm-hmm.
with it, take it, find it, and then also like maybe stay obsessed. Like there's a lot, when you have an obsession with something,
Yeah.
don't suppress it. Or like for example, I have an obsession with insects for a very long time, and a lot of people find insects really gross and bad and disgusting,
Mm-hmm.
and scary. And it's like so I feel like, oh, I can't talk about insects because people don't like them. And then I started actually looking into insects, and now I'm like I sometimes study them, and I like think about them a lot, and I run with that obsession, and it makes me happy. So like that can obviously be creative too. So
Mm-hmm.
like if you go with your obsession, what you're obsessed with, then you will never get bored. So then
Mm.
you will always have fuel to make work, art,
Yeah.
anything. It doesn't even have to be art.
Yeah.
And oh, like lost my train of thought. What else could we say? Yeah, so stay curious, stay obsessed, and like follow your flow and follow your instincts. So I guess that's the whole thing we've been talking about today. So
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
yeah, just go with your imagination. Let it run wild. Let yourself run wild. Like if you want to go outside and do a cartwheel, go outside and do a cartwheel.
Yeah, that's a great way to finish. Thank you so much for today, and I'll go outside and do a cartwheel after we just finish. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that I had this opportunity to meet you and to
Me too. Thank you so much.
hold this interview. And yeah, thank you everybody who's watching and who has watched. And yeah, I'll link all of Chloe's Instagram in the description, and her inspiring people as well, people who inspire her, so you can go take a look at them as well and hopefully be inspired. And yeah, I guess this is goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. See you soon.
See you later.